The reason why I'm so excited is because I realize that there are individuals who perhaps, I don't know this for a fact, but who perhaps work a lot harder than I work. But unfortunately, they live in third world countries, so it doesn't matter how hard they work, they do not necessarily have the resources and they do not have the opportunities that I have. And this is why I'm so passionate. This is why I get so excited. Because if I'm willing to put in the work here in America, if I'm willing to get up early in the morning, if I'm willing to go to bed late at night, right? Look, I went from being a high school dropout, literally, a GED to a PhD. Only in America can something like that happen, right? Listen to me. I literally went from not being able to pass an English class, we're talking about English 101, to writing a New York Times bestseller. So when I say make some noise for the opportunities that exist in this country on three, I need you to make some noise. 1, 2, 3. Come on. Come on. All right. So do me a huge favor. Let's get specific now. I want you, if you have something to write with, or if you have your phone, I want you to pull it out. What would 2025 look like for you? If it was an amazing year for you, if it was an outstanding year for you, what would it look like? What would it look like in terms of your staffing, right? What would it look like? What would it look like in terms of your systems and organization and structure? What would it look like in terms of relationships? What would that look like for you? I want you to write that down. What would that look like for you? So again, I just believe that if you write the vision, right? If you write the vision, you make the vision plain, I just believe certain things will happen for you. So this was probably about a month ago. This has been a great year for us. But unfortunately, from the church side, as a pastor, it's been a rough year from the church side. And so I told my wife, we need to get away. And so I just was like, what's your favorite place? And of course, she was like, Dubai. And I was like, okay, I was hoping you would say like Sarasota or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Vegas. You know what I'm saying? That's a long flight, right? And so I was just sitting there. And so again, we live in a country where opportunities, so I was just like praying and dreaming and just believing. And I got a call, and this never happens to me. It was like, yo, in a month, we need you in Saudi Arabia to speak, right? And one of those 7-figure opportunities. I was just like, unbelievable, right? And so I told my wife, we're going to Dubai, right? We're going to end the year off the way you want to end it, then we'll leave and we'll go to Saudi Arabia, I'll speak, and then we'll come home. Listen to me, I'm so excited because we live in a country where if you can write it down, it can happen. And so too much is given, much is required. So here's what I want you to do for me. I want you to write it down. I want you to write down what that 2025 is going to look like for you, right? And then I want us to go to work, meaning what? There's a lot of information we got. We got a lot of information. And so the difference between those who succeed and those who don't, or those who operate at a very high level and those who are just good, is their ability to take the information, right? Synthesize that information, use that information, and take themselves to another level. Who's ready not to just to be at this conference, but to take some of the information you receive and take your 2025 and just do something with it you've never seen in your life in terms of your business? Who's ready to do that? All right, so that's why I say write. That's why I say write it down, because when you write things down, just stuff starts to happen. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so you see that here. Warriors separate themselves by doing what others can't, right? You know, this is what's so funny to me. People say to me, and I'm talking about in my inner circle, there are people who say to me like, yo, I don't get it. I don't know why you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I don't understand why you travel so much and you go so hard. You're in this city, you that city. I said, first of all, that's how I pay your bills. First of all, that's how I pay your bills. Right? And look, I get it, right? For you, it's too much. But for me, to not only be in this country, I'm good with making money. But what I love the most is freedom. To be able to get up when I want to and travel where I want to go. Right? To be able to write books or do videos. To be able to, I was just with my kids. We just went to the Texans-Lions game. The Texans invited me. And then CP3 asked me to come over. We went to the Spurs game. Right now we're on our way to Dubai, right? And then Saudi Arabia, like I was trying to explain to them, like, listen to me, the difference between good and great is good. You're settled when you're great. Like, you keep waking up, you keep discovering, you keep finding new ways. You just keep. And so I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I go to bed late, and I do videos, and I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I do it because I know if I do it, I'm going to be able to live the way I want to live and do what I want to do. And here's the part that I love. Okay, so we own a home in Rancho Santa Fe in San Diego, and the other day, my wife was outside, and I heard her like bouncing the basketball. I'm like, what is she doing? She don't even know how to play basketball, right? But she's out in the back, and her and my son, he's 29 years old, they're out there in the back playing 21. Listen to me, I don't care about a house or car, but for my 29-year-old to work for our company and be able to spend time with his mother whenever he wants to is a dream come true. So again, we live in the land of opportunity. So I can get up as early, I can go to bed as late, as long as opportunity exists and I can keep taking my company and myself to the next level, I'm willing to do it. And who's willing to do it in the room? You're willing to do it. You're willing to do whatever it takes. No. I said, who's willing to do whatever it takes? No. And this is important because when I first started speaking and putting up videos, I didn't know I would have to have a staff. I didn't know that I would have to become a salesperson. I didn't know there would be back-end stuff that I would have to do. I didn't know anything about taxes, guys. Like, I didn't know anything about products and services. Like, I didn't know anything about leadership versus management. Like, when I first started speaking, I just wanted to speak. I didn't know all these other things would have to exist in order for me to live the life I want to live. And so there was a time that I was like, yo, this is a lot. Like, this is a lot. And I just heard someone say, warriors separate themselves by going where others won't go. So you guys know the story of the eagle, right? And you know that one of his ministers is the crow, right? And so the crow kind of like gets on his back and try to peck. And so what I learned from this story is that it doesn't matter what's going on in the world around us, right? There is a certain atmosphere. There's a certain level that we can fly to. There's a certain altitude that you get to that those who are good or who are average, they just can't breathe up there. Right? I'm going to say it one more time. There's just a certain level that the greats get to where get up 3 o'clock in the morning, you start separating yourself from everybody else. You get the GED, the 4-year degree, the master's degree, the PhD, you start separating yourself. You start writing New York Times bestsellers. You start separating yourself. You start doing the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. You just start to separate yourself. And one of the things I want you to do is I want you to take this information that you're going to get, and I want you to take all the stuff you've learned, and I want you to keep going to different levels. Like, don't get settled. Don't go, I'm doing great. You're doing 2024 great. You're not doing 2025 great. I just believe that as long as we are alive, there's more. There's more to do. There's more to be. There's more to see. And in order to do it, we must be eagles. Why? We just keep going higher and higher and higher and higher. And the higher we go, everything that's not meaningful is going to fall off. Who is ready to make the commitment in 2025 to just keep going higher? All right, so one of the things I want you to do is you're going into 2025, right? There are going to be a lot of things, a lot of obstacles, a lot of things that are going to come up against you. A lot of negativity from the outside, a lot of negativity might be from the inside. And one of the reasons that I'm so successful is not because I am the smartest. It's not because I'm the strongest. It's not because I'm the fastest. But I've been doing this since 1991, right? And it's called competitive stamina. And one of the things that I want you guys to do in 2025 is that you got to go into warrior mode, right? You're going to have to go into beast mode. And listen to me. I'm trying to tell you. We got January. We got to do whatever we say we're going to do. And no matter what happens, we got to keep getting up. We got to keep getting after it. And if things don't go the way we want, we still February. We got to wake up in the morning. We got to go get it. March, we got to get up. I want you to hear what I'm saying. Competitive stamina does not mean you're the best. It doesn't mean you're the brightest. It doesn't mean you're the smartest. It doesn't mean you're the fastest. It means that you've made up in your mind that whatever your goal is, you're going to go after it, and you're not going to stop until you get it. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter how much research it takes. It doesn't matter how much money it takes. Once you are focused on a particular thing, that you do not complain, you do not whine, you do not talk about the problem. You spend all of your waking hours on a solution. You take that information and you take that determination and that focus and you keep going and you keep going, and nothing is going to stop you because you don't stop. And you're not going to quit, and you're not going to give up, and you're not going to give in because you're focused. And so let me tell you something. That GED was tough. But then the 4-year degree took me 12 years, and I made up in my mind, I'm not going to stop. I went to every graduation. From the time I went to Oakwood College to the time I graduated. I went to every graduation, even though I wasn't graduating, and I knew one day I was going to graduate. And when I finished, I got the master's. And when I finished, I got the PhD. And the dissertation was hard, but I said to myself, don't start if you're going to stop. And I'm telling you, some of you are going to get to the next level in your business if you stop stopping every time it gets hard. If you stop complaining, if you stop whining, and you face the goal, and you face the obstacle, and you put your heart and your mind into doing whatever it takes to get it done, I promise you, 2025 is going to be the best year of your life. If you are ready for competitive stamina, if you're ready to start and never stop until you reach your goal, make some noise for me, please. No. I'm going to say this one more time. 2025, no complaining, only solutions. No talking about problems, only solutions. Read this with me. To compete, strive to be the best. To win by establishing superiority over everybody else who's trying to do the same thing you're trying to do. Look, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've been doing it social media for 20 years. I'm telling you, I'm letting every young speaker know, even the speakers I train, listen to me, you can get to the top. Like you can outdo me, but I'm telling you, I'm not going to hand it over to you. I'm not going to give it to you. You're not just going to study. You're not just going to wake up in the morning and post videos. I'm telling you, you got to get up at 2:30 in the morning because I'm getting up at 3. You got to stay up to 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? If you're going to catch me. And so I'm telling you, we've got to have a mindset, not that we're going to reach our top. We got to find out what the top of the top is. We got to find out what our competitors are doing. We got to find out what's not being done in the industry. We got to find the gaps, and we got to get up every single morning and determine that we will outdo who we were in 2023 and 2022 and 2021. We must have competitive stamina.